Welcome back, guys. In this video I'll be showing you how to draw this component in AutoCAD. First I need to analyze the drawing. So I would first start off with a general rectangle 180 by 60 using a fillet radius of 5 millimeters. So first change to my construction layer. Next, I draw a rectangle 180 by 60. So it's REC, enter, left click, and this is 180 by 60, enter. That is now drawn. I'm going to move this, left click, M for move, enter, specify the base point, then drag. Turn this off, drag this to down here. That's now there. So now that is done, my next step is to establish this piece in the center here. So I'll be drawing a line through the middle from here to there. For that I go line, L for line, enter, left click, enter that line. My next step is to establish this center. The center is 30 millimeters from the edge here. So what I'll do, I'll use circle 2p, or I could use circle of radius 30 to get this point. C for circle, enter. I want 3p, let me use 2p. I then left click here, then my next point is 30, 30, enter. That is now done. So now I now have my start point, which is here. Now the distance between this center and this center is 120. Again, I'll go back to 2p to get that point. So spacebar to reactivate, and then click on 3p, left click here at my start point, go across, type 120, enter. This is now my second point. Next, I'm gonna use circle, C for circle again, enter, left click here, and then draw my circle of radius 10 here, radius 10 there, and also one in the middle, also 10. So this radius is 10, 10, enter, spacebar to reactivate, 1 here, 10, enter, spacebar to reactivate, 1 here, 10, enter. Those 3 are done. Now I could delete this as I no longer need this. My next step is to draw the center line, the center arc here, center arc here. Now, it is important to know that you must always establish your center lines first when you're drawing in AutoCAD. It's very important. Always establish your center lines first. Next, I go up to layers, change to my center line, left click. For this, I'll be using arc, start, end radius to get this curve. So I go up to arc, drop down, go down to start, end radius, left click. Click on my start point, Let me check out this look. Oh, this is so this is start point, end point, and the radius of 90, 90, enter. Now, it's important to know that arcs are drawn in an anti-clockwise direction. So I start here and then here first. If I started here to here, the arc would curve up here. So I start here, the center is someplace up here. So the anti-clockwise would be relative to the center. Starting here, then go away all the way around. Spacebar to reactivate. Again, the center for this one should fall someplace down here. Anti-clockwise would be here and there. So I left click here for my start point, left click here for the second point, then radius of 90, 90, and oh, I didn't delete that. I chose the wrong thing. So I chose start and radius. Start and radius. Here is start. Here is end. Radius 90. 90, enter. Right. That is now done. My next move is to offset this. Offset distance should be 10. Alright. So I'm going for offset, offset, enter. Offset distance 10, 10, enter. Left click up, left click down, left click up, left click down, escape. Now, these have been drawn on the wrong layer, so I could change them or I could let them stay and then change them at the end when I'm changing over to my outline layer. I want to change them from now, so let me click on them and go up to my center layer, my outline layer. My next step is to trim. So I type TR for trim, enter, enter, left click here, left click here, and left click there. Escape, undo, let me undo that. What I could do in a case like this is to use trim with edge. So in this case, I type trim once, I type TR, enter key once, then left click on the circle here, left click here, then enter, then touch where. Oh, in this case, I want TR, enter, touch this, touch that, enter, and touch here. I'm not quite sure why this is not working, but TR, enter, click here. And what I'm doing here, guys, I'm cutting off, trimming, starting to trim in the middle part closest to the circle. Trim here and trim there. Escape, then click here, delete. TR, enter, trim here, trim there, trim here, trim there, and delete the rest. Delete. That part is done. Our next step is to draw this section here, this little piece around here. Alright, so again, we always establish our center lines first. And this line is drawn at minus, it is 60 is minus 60, or if we're starting from here in a anti-clockwise direction, this would work out to 330. 330, yes, 330. So my next step is to draw a line, draw this line here. For this I could use minus 30, that should work as well. L4, let me change my outline, my construction layer. Remember though, we always draw on our construction layer, then brighten up to our outline after we have completed the drawing. And in most cases, you will need to let your construction lines remain to show your geometric techniques. Now, let's start by drawing the line at minus 30 degrees. Enter for line, enter. Left click here, tab key, minus 30, enter. Good. Now, it is important to know that at times this function will not work on your computer, especially if you have too many drawings open or if the processor is not very strong. So this is now my center layer. I intend to change this from the construction to center line. I like to make my center lines pronounced from very early so that I don't mix them up with the other layers. For that, I type MA, enter, left click, cut here. Now, my next step is to establish the center here. This center is 66 millimeters out, and it goes down to touch this. Oh, well, what I would need to do, well, this can be done one of two ways. What I need to do is to draw a line down, out by 66, then bring it down to cut this 66 and down to cut this. It should end up giving us 45. Or I could offset this by 21, and where that cuts here should be that point. So I could draw the line out then down. That should work as well. So left line, enter, left click here, go out 66, 66, enter, and down, turn on author. Now these doesn't meet, so I'll be using fillet to join both of them. For that, I type F for fillet, enter key, check to ensure that radius is 0, radius is 3, change that to 0, so type 0, enter. Then touch this line, touch that line. That is now established. So this and that, those are now established. Now that I have established that, my next step is to draw these circles. This circle has a radius of 10, radius of 15. So C for circle, enter. Click here, then go 10, 1, 0, enter. Spacebar to reactivate. Left click here, go 15, 1, 5 radius, enter. That is now established. Yes, so that part is done. I now can offset this by offset this, offset that right here. So O for offset, enter. offset distance of 10, enter to accept that, left click, oh no, 15, or I could even copy, C over copy, enter, click here, enter, use here as the base point, no, offset is best, offset, over offset, enter, offset distance of 15, 1, 5, enter, left click here, move, left click here, then move down, enter. That's now done. Now, to get this touch here, I use a command called extend. EX, enter 2 times, enter, touch here, that is done. I now need to use, well, I'm gonna trim this inner part here. So I try TR, enter, left click here, left click there, left click there. I then use fillet, for fillet, enter. Check my fillet radius, and let this radius be 3, 3, enter. Left click here, left click there, left click here, left click there. That part is done. My next step is to trim the inner part here. That I go trim, TR, enter, left click here, left click here, escape, click, delete, and that is now done. That is now done. Yep, that is now done. Oh, I think I did something wrong when I no. Let me check it because mine looks a little different from that one. Alright, now that we have done that, our next step is to let me check something just to be on the safe side. Change my dimension layer. Left click here, left click here. Alright, let's use match property, enter, click source, click this, click that, click that. So my next step would be to add dimension to this. Of course, I will not be dimensioning this as the other example is already dimensioned. Yeah. Alright. This looks slightly different from that. Yeah, here looks a little longer than that.